Hello, welcome to another edition of Reflections. My name is Deontay Brewer. I am your host for Reflections. Today we will be talking about resolutions, a mixture of resolutions. The topic will be about resolutions and also resolving issues in life. And so it'll be a mixture of resolutions and resolving issues that one faces in life. Keep in mind that this is just a condensed version of the topic. I mean, I don't claim to be an expert on the subject. This is not a dissertation. This is not a lecture. This is just my reflections on how I feel one should go about making resolutions and resolving issues in life. And I will talk about, this time of year, winter, and with the new year starting, how one will make a resolution. But then also resolving issues from the past, in a new year and moving forward in life. So again, welcome to this edition of Reflections. Enjoy. As the new year begins, this is a new year, winter is upon us. Ref- uh, Resolutions are made, symbolically, traditionally, people make resolutions to start over in a new year. Um, I've made resolutions to have a sense of self and to move forward. You feel better. You say, I'm going to move forward with this resolution. But we have to ask ourselves, is it is the resolution attainable? Is it attainable? Does it meet where you are in life? A lot of people start off saying that they want to lose weight, or they want to in a relationship, they want to have relationship goals and things like that. But we have to ask ourselves, is it attainable? I know personally for me this year, I turned 40 2 weeks ago, and life has been a swirl of emotions, and I attribute that to growth. I'm still growing as a person, but there's a comfort that I've reached in my life, I believe at the age of 40. um, I feel more confident, in areas of my life. I'm satisfied, in areas of my life. I know that there is room for growth, but I don't struggle with those issues that I struggled with in my 20s and in my 30s. And that ties into also resolving, issues. But we'll touch on that later. Resolutions are important to make, because they for some people signify change and growth. And we as people, it's important, that we change and we grow as each new year, comes upon us. A lot of people reach a certain age and they feel that they've done all the growing that they, can attain. And it's like, no, one should never stop growing in life. When you stop growing, you become stagnated. And I've seen people, good people, I've talked with people, but people, they've stopped growing in life. And so, resolutions, you can say, you're going to be better and do better, but never stop growing as a person, never stop learning as a person, never turn your back on change. I was a person that early on in my life, I didn't like change. In my 20s, I was stuck in a routine and I enjoyed that routine. And at that time, I figured that's how my life was going to be. That's what made my life comfortable, but that was hindering me. That box I had created hindered me and it stunted my growth. And yes, I was still growing as a person, but I look back now, I realize I'm thankful that I knew that box that I had created myself. I resolved to change that, when I did. And so you have to make peace, with things of the past, when You have to be at peace with the present, looking towards your future. I think too many people in this life waste time and good energy, on things, of the past and worrying about things of the past and being stuck in the past. And I know I'm one of those people that reflect. That is the name of this show, but I reflect very often in my life. And as I age, I wonder if that's beneficial for me, because I've always been a person that as each new year begins, with the resolution, I think about the past and what I could have done better, what I could have said better, and I think it's good to look back, but it could probably, maybe it could be a hindrance too, but I think it's important to do that. It's important, just as a resolution is with the new year. Like I said, yeah, you have to make peace with your past. And, in this current day and age, relationships are still so important to mankind, a person's relationship with their parents or, with their spouse or significant other, with their child. You have to, I think, just stay in the moment. So many times we get stuck in the past, how things used to be, and, but people change, yearly. People change. Some people change daily, and I think we just have to stay in the moment and enjoy it. I was having a conversation with someone recently, and I said the goal for my life this year and moving on would just be to enjoy the moment. I used to be a person that wanted to control everything around me. And if it didn't go my way, boy, I felt like, there was a stain on my soul. I said, but I've learned to just enjoy the moment. Let it come and happen naturally. And I tell you, people, those are the best. That's the best feeling, when you just let it happen naturally. Lately, people have just been so good to me unexpectedly, and, whether it's gifts or just words. And it's because I think I've chilled and mellowed out. I am a person that gets excited about the little things, and whatever. I mean, it's just been a good time. It's been a good time. But anyhow, resolving issues. We just have to learn to let things go, and for years, that's something that I can say, as your host. I can say that I have struggled with letting things go because I think of life and I think of Annette Funicello. Annette Funicello was a Disney star of the 1950s and the Mickey Mouse Club, that iconic show started by Walt Disney. And Annette Funicello ended up having multiple sclerosis, later on in her life. And, but she's probably the most famous child star ever that there was. But Annette Funicello said that life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. And that quote, I heard that quote when I graduated from high school years ago, but I have always been a person that wanted my life to be like in a box and with a bow. And I have learned that it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, for years, I thought that I was supposed to have 2.3 children and have the house, with the white picket fence and, work at a nice firm and all these things. And my life has not turned out that way, and, but I've learned to enjoy my life, and to just let certain things go. Just let things go that don't make my heart happy. I told my mother on my birthday, I said, I'm going to do what makes my heart glad. And she really agreed with that. She seconded what I said. And so I've learned that in life, to do what makes my heart glad, because I can say at the age of 40, I spent a lot of good time and energy on things that didn't make my heart glad, and so we have to learn to embrace that inner core of us and to celebrate that and enjoy that and revel in that, and don't let anybody come in and crack and chip at that core. Um, and you have to learn to let things go. I have learned there will be some people I will never understand why they are the way they are, and because they don't know, and I'm learning to be at peace with that. There are relationships with people perhaps I will never have, that one meant for me to have, and I invested time and energy into that relationship that's just not meant to be. You know what? But I always said, I'm going to be happy anyway, and I'm going to go on. And so I encourage you as a viewer today, whatever situation in life is holding you back, whether it's a person, place, or a thing, let that thing go, and move forward. This is a new year. This is 2021. I feel change and growth in the air. Go back to college if you need to. Get a new job if that job you have is pulling at you emotionally and physically. Learn a trade, in your spare time, give yourself a hobby, you know, make your life enjoyable, make the most out of it. If anything, this pandemic has taught me, it's, my life to live it a little slower and enjoy it. I was a person in my 20s and, and I know 20s, speeding through life, thinking I was going to miss something. And I would literally get in that car and fly all over Fort Wayne, to go here, there, and everywhere, because I felt I was missing out on something. And in my 30s, I started to slow down a little bit. But I know for me, as I age, that's going to be very important for me to just slow down, and enjoy life, and be thankful for what I have. And the small things, like I said, I've been a person that's always enjoyed the little things. And I have a picture in my home that says "Enjoy the little things in life," and I do, And so I encourage you all, and this thing with relationships, I tell you, I can't let it go. I see it; it affects me, and I see it everywhere with relationships, people. I'll never forget Oprah Winfrey's first show on television was about relationships, finding the perfect relationship. And this was 1986. And Oprah said 25 years later, at the beginning of her last season, people are still talking about that. And that was 10 years ago in 2011. That was her last season of her nationally iconic talk show. 10 years later in 2021, people are still looking and searching for the perfect relationships. And I think it starts with us. Sometimes we put the blame and point the finger at other people, but it starts with us. You have to learn to love yourself and appreciate yourself. And society, I think, starts telling us as individuals at the age of 3 and 4 how we are to be, how we're to think and act and dress and speak. And yes, there are protocols for that, but as you age, you get a sense of self. As a teenager, you become your own person, so to speak. And I think that, with good relationships, they start within us, as I said. And, you have to be comfortable in yourself before you get with someone else. You cannot expect that person to change, enhance, or make your life more than what it is. You have to start, and so, I can speak as a single man. I can't speak on anything romantic right now, but as a single man, my friendships, with my acquaintances are important to me. Everybody that knows me knows that I'm loyal to a fault. I accept the good, bad, and ugly with people that I love. And, my family is important to me, my immediate family, and then my extended family, my family. But most importantly, my relationship with God, I know, has kept me going, my whole life, and it has sustained me in days where I feel very weak, days that my heart is sad, I know that God's love sustains me and keeps me going, and He's the sun, literally the sun that's in my life. People tell me, oh, there was a guy at work that just told me, a young guy said, "You have such a sunny disposition," and da 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 da. And I said, "Well, that's God." And he says, "Well," I said, "and that's how I was born, and So I'm thankful for that. But we have to continue, to, as I said, with resolutions, make good resolutions and make sure they're attainable, and, that be patient with yourself, and give yourself time, to reach that resolution. If it's to lose weight, you have to set a good meal plan for yourself, and set fitness goals, that are, easy, to do. Don't push yourself, when if it's in a relationship, set realistic goals, and talk to your partner about those things, and y'all communicate, if it's an education, pace yourself, and study as you should, and read, devote that time, when you may have to push back your social life, or, but everything is attainable if you set realistic goals. And as I stated, with resolving things in your life, live in the moment, people. There's nothing wrong with reflecting on the past, because that's how you learn, you learn to be better and do better, but don't stay stuck in the past. That is a message to myself today, because I've done a lot of reflecting since probably October. I want to continue to grow as a person. And so I don't want to, I try sometimes even not to think about the past, but it smacks me in the face with people that, certain people that I'm around, so, but anyhow, we just got to live in the moment and enjoy the life that we have. And, as I said, be good to yourself, and be good to those around you, but first be good to yourself, and celebrate you. A lot of people wait till their birthdays to have fun and go on trips and have dinners, but no, celebrate you all year. I have always been a person, to do things that made me, happy, and I didn't need an entourage. Some people, in childhood have to have a whole bunch of friends. They start in childhood having to have a whole bunch of friends around them, and that carry on to teenage years and to adult years, and, with having a whole bunch of people around them. Oh, no. I can remember at the age of 13 and 14, a quick trip to the mall was needed and necessary, to deal with school and all that other stuff. So I took pride in that, when I still to this day, a quick trip to the mall, is you see a lot, but I enjoy, that is something that I enjoy. Fitness as I get older, working on my body, and the treadmill and all those things that I enjoy, that's a relief, because stress is brutal, people. We have to learn to eliminate stress in our life. When you feel it building up, take the steps necessary, to eliminate it. And but do things, painting and swimming and gardening and all these things, that can help you and aid you in your daily life. Whatever it is, find something, and enjoy and do that. You don't have to wait on your spouse or significant other or whoever. You do what makes you happy. I think in this day and age, people are too dependent on others. I have never been dependent on other people to do things. The thing is, as I get older, I'd like to have somebody in my life to share those things with, but even when that person comes, I am always going to be a person that has a sense of self and independence. I heard Diana Ross say that. She said, in every relationship I was in, whether it was a marriage, I always kept a sense of self, meaning she didn't let her personality and personhood merge with that person. She didn't lose herself in that person. That's very important. I've seen that in my life. I saw people that didn't do that. I grew up around that. And so I think that's very important, that independence. And so, but life is meant to be enjoyed. As Annette Funicello said, it doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. And, sometimes you don't have the money, to start a new hobby or to, but just being at home listening to music is something, that will help you. When sometimes I get to that house and turn that music up and sing, and I just enjoy myself. And so we have to do those things. That's the premise, is to make yourself happy. But I will leave you with this today. A new year has began, and resolutions are important. But make sure whatever resolution you accomplish, or whatever resolution you want to incorporate into your life, that you're true to yourself, and that it helps you spiritually and mentally and physically as a person. And as I said, with resolving issues, make sure those issues you resolve so that they don't hinder your present person, and because you don't want your present person to affect, your future, so those things that are keeping you bound, let them go, people. And I attribute it to, like, if you're holding an animal or something by that collar and that dog is shaking, let it go, let him go. And if he got sense, he'll come back to you. If not, he'll run away and face whatever its future is, but let it go if it's holding you bound. But remember, to be you, be bold, be blessed. God bless. Thank you.